Hello, welcome to Enchanted Moments podcast. I'm Monica,
I'm Spencer.
and today we want to talk about ways to release fear and use our intuition. There's been so much going on, and it never seems to end. So we are trying very hard to let go of fear and listen to that small, quiet voice inside that's telling us everything's okay, just have to relax. But fear ends up being the loudest. You know, we wake up at night, we have thoughts that go, and we don't get back to sleep. That is not a great thing right now. It's a big challenge, isn't it, Cram? It's a terrible challenge. So we have a couple little exercises we want to share so that coming up through this busy time of the year, people can stop and use these to hopefully calm the mind and allow your intuition to talk with you. Dr. Bruce Lipton has a new book out called The Honeymoon Effect, and he has great material. Just if you've never read any of his books, they're excellent.
Do we have the books here?
We have had them here. Some of the newer ones we do not have, but it's like Greg Braden. They come out with a book, everybody buys it, and then it just kind of goes away. So if you have a particular title you would like from either Greg Braden or Bruce Lipton, let me know and we will order them in. He says your body is always listening to you. It's listening to all the energy that is behind your thoughts. So it's important to stop the body, give it a break, because even though we're not consciously aware of all the stress we have, our subconscious mind is constantly processing the stress, the fear, the unknown, the news. You never know anymore. So what he says is to find a quiet place. Find that place in your house, or if you're at work, somewhere at work where you can hide for a few minutes, not a long time, and let your mind quiet. Take a few deep breaths, quiet the mind, allow your body to relax. And then what he says is recall a wonderful memory of a peaceful time or a joyful moment, so that you train your body to react to those conscious thoughts of fun. Notice when you're in that state how that body feels, how your body feels. So if you're thinking about a wonderful time you had with family, or a great vacation moment, or your mom and I sitting on the dock in Canada and reading, or whatever, it brings up great feelings. So not just thinking about those things, but then notice how your body feels. You really become aware of the muscle tone, how your breathing changes, and it really does change because you tend to like flow into that state. And that is what he calls your yes. So it allows you to know what it feels like physically when your intuition is telling you something that you should be doing, or an action you should be taking, or the answer is yes or no. It allows you, if you get and can recall that feeling that your body has, then you know that that's an answer. We do body pendulums and we do all kinds of external things that they definitely work. But we need to try to get into a state of mind that allows us to listen more closely to our bodies and listen to what our intuition is telling us, because we don't always have time to go through a process. And the closer we can get to that constant in your life, that feeling that you're in that flow and you're going in the right direction, then you don't have to do anything. You just know. And so that's really, really good idea. after you do this wonderful thought, then think of something draining or stressful for you, and then notice all those changes that you have in your body. And you'll know too when your intuition is telling you that's not a good idea, because you're going to get those feelings. So you know the opposite to what it feels like when you have really good feelings. And practice that. And it's a way to train our bodies to give us the answer without having to do a lot of thinking about it. Because we want to get out of that heavy thinking mode and work with the heart. And if we're working with our soul contract and our heart and in our intuition, then we don't really need much else. That's really going to give you everything you need to have a full and fulfilling life. So go to a quiet place, take a few deep breaths, cleanse out anything you're thinking, stop that spirally thinking, and then think of a fantastic memory, just a really, really good one. And after you do that, then notice all those feelings you have in your body. You know, you may get a relaxed feeling in your hands or feet. You may, become aware of what that feels like everywhere, because your jaw relaxes. You know, your face feels softer. You don't have that intensity of muscle contraction. And after we do that, then let's think of something that isn't so pleasant and notice all those changes, because those are the ones that we tend to pay more attention to sometimes. Sometimes we just shove through them, and that is not the answer. We should, that go through that pain to get to the other side is not necessarily the best method for living our lives. So when we get those stressful feelings, then wait and get a nice feeling, and then remember those, so that when you're walking through your day, you're running and doing things, that when something gets in the way, recognize what that feels like. We laugh about going down the river in the middle in a canoe and having a lovely journey, or we can bash against the shoreline all the way. We're all going to get to the same place in the end. But this is going to allow you to stay more in the flow and listen to what our bodies are telling us, and recognize then when you get those messages from your intuition, it may be that stress will stop, or it may be that's the way to go. Come on, let's just do some more of that. And then that's going to work for you too. So try that exercise. It's really helpful. It makes us more aware of all the things that are going on in our lives, making us have to take a break, right? Stop and feel what's going on, and then try to stay in that feeling of allowing, just letting your intuition speak with you in a very viable and physical way, so that you notice it. But what do you think? Anything?
Sounds good. I'm ready to try it.
Okay. Well, we will be going and trying that. So your job now is to not be driving or working necessarily, but try that exercise and see how you can become more in touch with your physical symptoms of stress and flow. That'll be good.
Perfect.
Thanks for joining us, and we will talk to you again soon.